Narcissists negate you in all facets, and there's a simple reason why. Narcissists have a complete and all encompassing fear of reality. When you get traumatized at an early age, your parents are reality for you. They're not distinct or differentiated. And when you have these types of traumatic experiences before the development of human personality, children are forced to dissociate from self to go into protecting themselves. And so they listen for things that would be hurtful to them. And when you're talking about somebody that exists in non-reality as a false entity, the truth of you, a being that is not discernible or observable because they lack empathy. You see, people hear that lack of empathy and they make it moral. They make it like somebody that just doesn't care for people. No! Lacking empathy is a developmental problem. They do not have the emotion for empathy. They do not feel it. They can't feel it. You see, if you were to feel empathy, real empathy, not your projections, not your musings or guesswork of what other people are feeling, it is the most magical of human experiences because empathy is what connects you to people. Empathy is not right or wrong. Empathy does not have judgment. Empathy validates the person in totality, and it allows your mind to connect to theirs in such a way that you can see them and see how they see the world. That the human being is an experience of reality, an experience of self. And when you're communicating to somebody and they negate it, they negate you. They're saying that there's something false or wrong with you or something off about what you're seeing. And it's simply because you are seeing a different reality. If you're seeing a different reality and speaking to a narcissist, they see a different reality. And the difference is their reality has to win or it collapses. The truth of who you are will never be discernible or observable in the eyes of any narcissist because it is a direct threat to the false reality that they live within. You'll never get acknowledgement. You'll never get the truth. You'll never get what you want, most certainly never be loved. Because how could somebody love you when they can't even see you? But you see, if you grew up with narcissists, you were never seen at all. So growing up with narcissists meant that you had to live in the validation of what you did for other people. So you live as a validation magnet, where there's a piece of you that is incomplete that you fill with validation to make yourself complete. You need somebody to tell you you're not broken, you're okay, you're good enough, just so you can feel alive and normal. Because you were negated as a child, you were forced to live through the validation of narcissistic parents. And so that's how you feel loved. And so a narcissist needs supply, you need validation, and you are living in two different versions of reality. One that will always result in your negation because the reality of a narcissist is not negotiable. They cannot have a conversation about the nature of their reality because it starts to undermine reality around them and threaten them. And without a personality, all there is a false self that can plunge into the darkness of their own internal environment, which is irreparably traumatized, causing them to react as a psychopath or experience mortification. There are only several levels of being for a narcissist. They could be grandiose or a victim, and somewhere in between. The victim is the last line of defense against their inescapable inferiority. That they all have the inferiority. They all have the shame, unmitigated shame that they try to hide, that they try to escape, that they try to get you to believe isn't there. that they cannot acknowledge what you are. They'll never be responsible for loving you or acknowledging you. And they will discard you and move on because they have no attachment or love for anybody, because they can't have those feelings because the feelings don't exist. You are nothing more than somebody that is performing as a mime in an auditorium and wondering why you're not getting the validation and love you deserve after years of practicing this behavior of miming. And somebody walks up and says, yo, this is the California School of the Blind. You're going to have to add some audio if you want to get the acknowledgement you're looking for. And so there you are, people pleasing somebody just to be validated for what you do because they cannot see you. You do not care that they cannot see you because all you're looking for is validation because you're attached to the way they make you feel about yourself while not even being accountable to observe the behavior of the person and objectively rate and understand that that is not even a person. And that is the deal. And so, no, narcissists do not have empathy because they do not have any emotional development in that domain. They will never be maternal. They will never be paternal. They are demented and they're in non-reality. And they have a disastrous impact on the quality of anybody's life. They will sabotage you and destroy you just for being you, because the truth of what you are cannot exist in their dark universe. That they listen from denial. They have to reframe everything that comes in their ear to reconstitute it within their false reality. They have to demonize and bastardize and manipulate reality all the time. And so when you get the feedback and you feel rejected and you feel unseen and you feel denied and negated, you have to understand that the person does not have a choice, that they didn't choose to be this way, but that does not matter because it's not correctable, and they will punish and hurt you. They do not see you, they do not recognize you, they do not value you, they do not love you, and they don't even know the difference. They have to see what they have to see in order to exist, and they will damage you and damage you and damage you in the process because you will always be negated. Your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas, your passions, your drives, what makes you who you are is invisible. And you only get validation. That's all you get. And so you, at an early stage of your life, traded yourself. You sold yourself out to become a people pleaser. You sold yourself out. You won't say no. You don't let people in. You won't be yourself. You be this people-pleasing chameleon in perpetual need of validation, very similar to a narcissist's need for supply. And your false people-pleasing self is just about as authentic as a grandiose narcissist. As you hide yourself, living behind what you do for people, watching them validate what you do and feeling like, what about me? Literally disconnected yourself from love. That this not good enough, broken stuff that circulates your mind and your ruminations is killing you on the inside, therefore rendering you unlovable, suspending you in darkness, and making you depend upon the validation that you think is love. It's time to undo that. There's some real magic in your consciousness and your words. That you said that you were not good enough. You said that you were broken. You said that there's something wrong with you to explain the behavior of your narcissistic parents, and you still explain the behavior of other people in terms of what it means about yourself. That is not what's really happening. You need to wake up. You are in a dark reality. You are under the spell. It's time to free you from it.